Okay, obviously you recognize this man with the University of Miami polo shirt on. Dana White, the president here at the UFC.
But if you read the RJ, I'm Diana White.
Dana said that, I didn't say that. Shots fired from Diana White.
Yeah. My hometown newspaper does a big story on the fight and calls me Diana White.
Wow. No wig or nothing like that, right?
No what?
You didn't have a wig on or anything?
No wig, yeah. Diana White, my hometown newspaper.
I call you Dana. I call you Dana.
I appreciate it. That's girly enough. You got to throw an I in there. Right?
I wasn't going to say it, Dana.
Hey, my name wasn't girly enough. They had to throw an I in there. Yeah.
Hey, you're buff enough, though. Anyone has any problems with you, you got fighters around you at all times, right?
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah. So, Zuffa boxing, Canelo-Crawford, but first starting with Zuffa boxing, the fact that you've been wanting to get into boxing for a long time. I remember seeing the ring with Zuffa boxing maybe a couple years ago, right?
Right.
Finally getting into it. A decent fight to have with Zuffa boxing?
Well, how about that? My first fight ever, I've been talking about boxing for a long time, is Canelo-Crawford. I mean, one of the biggest fights ever. Literally is one of the biggest fights ever. It's the third biggest, gate in the history of boxing, and it's the biggest gate ever in a stadium. So, it's awesome and surreal at the same time.
Yeah, I think it's awesome as well as a fight fan, boxing fan, UFC fan. When you think about having a fight at Allegiant Stadium, was it in your mind that, you know what, I'm the first to doing all kinds of stuff, I want to be the first to have a boxing event at Allegiant?
I'd love to tell you that's the way it went down, but it didn't. Sheikh Turki wanted to do Allegiant Stadium so bad. He wanted this thing so bad, and you know me and how I feel about fights in stadiums. I like arenas, but listen, man, he's I love the way that this guy thinks. He thinks, big and crazy and things that have never been done before. Not that, stadium hasn't been done before, but it hasn't been done in Vegas at Allegiant.
No, I know.
And we're the biggest event ever at Allegiant Stadium. We broke all their records.
Already?
Yeah.
Before anything has ever been sold, I mean, you guys sold tickets, obviously, but already you guys have broken.
Yep.
Goodness gracious. Okay. All right. So.
And you know whose record we broke? Ours. WWE. So WWE had number one, and we just broke WWE's record.
That's right. I almost forget the fact that you have the marriage with the WWE and whatnot. And I mean, that's something you guys are actually going hand in hand throughout this entire
Well,
promotion,
TKO
right?
is UFC, WWE, and now boxing.
Okay, I got you. And you guys are doing a lot of cross-promoting with this for the fight, obviously, right?
Yep.
Okay, I got you. So talking about Canelo-Crawford.
Well, the reason that we are is I always had this philosophy that if you can get people to stay home on a Saturday night, they'll watch both. Tell me you've never watched 2 NFL games at the same time. Tell me you've never watched 2 college games at the same time, and you've probably watched 2 fights at the same time. And this is one of those nights. The main event for UFC Noche is awesome, and obviously the main event for Canelo-Crawford is incredible. But this will be the first time in a boxing match that you want to show up either on TV or live for the first fight of the night, because every fight right up to the main event is going to be great. And one of the things that I hate about boxing production is they'll have a fight and they'll have a podcast in the middle of the fight. Then they'll have another fight and then they'll have another podcast in the middle. It's just, this show's going to move faster than any boxing match you've ever watched.
That's, one of the biggest things I think that you have brought to this whole equation is the production level that the UFC has had and the A+ production that you guys have had, like the model that you've used. You're bringing that to boxing, like what you're talking about, right? Like trying to get the show moving and make it more of a production than it has been.
Yeah, so leading up to this fight, we've done tons of promotion. Canelo and Crawford have done tons of interviews. We did an incredible countdown show. This week, you're gonna get embedded episodes of them. All the talk is done. All the analysts and celebrities and everybody has given their predictions. You want to see fights that night. You don't want to hear more talk about it. That's it. We roll. Boom, 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 fight after fight after fight.
I got you. You had Tom Brady and Shaq doing interviews with Canelo and Crawford.
Denzel Washington. The list goes on and on. Everybody is talking about this fight.
This guy. Okay, all right. So what do you think like the economic impact would be for having all the people come here for Independence Weekend at Allegiant Stadium, Canelo, and everything else?
Massive. It's going to be a huge weekend here in Vegas. Huge.
Yeah, like I mean, the kind of money that we bring into Las Vegas for a UFC fight during fight week is something that's big. But this is, I'm assuming, you're kind of projecting it to be.
Well, you're talking about bringing in over 60,000 people, so yeah.
Yeah, 1,000%.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you look at the actual fighters, I know you don't like giving predictions and all that kind of stuff. I get it, but when you look at Canelo going against Crawford, what do you think about Crawford and the fact that he's going up that many weight classes to fight a guy like Canelo?
This is why I say this is one of those once-in-a-lifetime fights. When you have a guy who's willing to risk it all like this to prove that he is one of the greats of our era, this is like a dream for fight fans. This is the fight that every fight fan hopes is possible.
1,000%. And you've been around a ton of killers, so to speak, like fighters, guys that have like strong mentalities. Have you ever come across a guy that's more laser focused and believes in himself more than Terence Crawford?
No. The fact that he's going to take this fight, speaks volumes about who he is as a fighter and as a human. And I can tell you this, in working with him, he's one of the greatest guys you can ever work with. He's a good guy, and he absolutely, positively believes in himself. Now, you deal with a lot of fighters sometimes that'll talk publicly, like, oh, this, that, but behind the scenes, it's not the case. He is definitely the guy that walks the walk and believes in himself and everything that he says, and he's willing to put it all on the line and prove it. What could possibly be better than that if you're a fight fan?
No, 1,000%. I'd say this all the time. He seems like one of those guys that you almost literally have to take like the breath out of his body to convince him that he can lose. Like he seems like that type of person. You kind of get that idea.
Yeah. But when you interact with him and you deal with him in the business side, he's one of the nicest, most easygoing guys you'll ever meet, and nothing is a problem with him, and he's fun to work with. And then I love Canelo too. So for this to be my first ever boxing match, it's incredible.
I was going to ask about the whole Canelo thing. Like, had you met him before? You guys had gotten all that stuff you'd already had?
One of his fights, I went back in his dressing room before the fight, said hi to him and whatever. Yeah, we've always been cool, and he's a good guy. This is a fun one for me.
Now, one of the last few questions is, one, you've obviously had a million big fights, a million big events. Like, do you have any kind of, I don't know, anticipation, nerves going in this one, maybe more than another, just because it's your first, and also just...
Well, I have two. I have two on the same night. I got San Antonio, and I have here, and my thing, it's not that I get anxious about anything. What I want, the perfect night for me is, whether it's UFC or boxing, let's talk about Allegiant first. I don't love stadium fights. I don't like the feel of two ants fighting on a matchbook, and that's how it would feel, right? So we have to figure out how to fix all of that. And you don't feel that way when you leave the fight that night. I can guarantee you this. Television production is going to be solid. It'll be incredible. Now, I need everybody that came out here and bought a ticket to go to this fight to leave that arena going, this was a great experience. That's what I have to accomplish. Not just there, but in San Antonio too. So that's my goal every time. And throughout the night, it'll be a roller coaster. Not every fight can be great. We just did one in Paris and pretty much every fight was great. But it can't happen every weekend. So as long as some of the fights are good, people get a great experience, and the live experience, the VIP experience goes off perfectly, then I will be very happy.
You'll be very happy. It's not going to be Noche inside the Sphere, because nothing's going to be that. But
yeah, like it, but different challenges.
Gotcha.
Obviously that one had never been done before. Well, I've never done a stadium fight, and I've never. Well, that's not true. We've done stadium fights outside of America, but I've never seen a stadium boxing event that I loved. So that's the goal.
There we go. Okay, I guess, and last but not least, what do you plan on having like in the future? Like, I don't know how soon, but how soon will you do another like a boxing event? You know what I mean? Have you thought about like what?
Yeah, well, my show starts in 26. So in 26, that's when I'm going to do this fight with Sheikh Turki, and that's another thing. When you think about Saudi Arabia and their whole Riyadh season, what these guys have done for the sport of boxing is unbelievable. None of this could have been done without Saudi.
Got you. So you're starting in 26, but this is all Riyadh season, and then you're kind of joining in, and then you're taking over and doing like TKO boxing, but Zuffa boxing.
Yeah,
yourself.
I'm gonna do my thing, which will be more like the Contender Series for the UFC. I'm gonna, we're gonna pick a night, and we're gonna pack the card with badass fights and build talent. That's what I want to do.
I'm talking about Dana White. Dana White, the president of the UFC, Zuffa boxing as well. Crawford, Canelo, Allegiant Stadium is gonna be bananas, man. I appreciate you sitting down with me.
Thanks for having me.
Ooh.